Hello, this is Hooked by Happenstance, and I'm Kendra, and I'm joined once again with Peachlet for another installment of We Meant to Write Sooner. We Meant to Write Sooner is our new way, I think, of replying to comments here on Hooked by Happenstance. Basically, once a week-ish, I will post to Instagram just to let y'all know that I'm going to film and that Peachlet's ready to sit down and do the thing. And we will sit down and go through all the comments of the videos since the last We Meant to Write Sooner and reply to them verbally here rather than typing on YouTube. Now, I might not reply to all of them, like if you just give me an emoji or something, I'll probably just skip it. And sometimes I might go over them kind of as a lump group, especially if a lot of people are saying the same thing, but you never know. So, I think this has turned out to be a cool thing. I enjoyed doing it last time, and I'm looking forward to doing it once again. But I think there's a decent amount of comments, so we're going to get onto it so that I'm not super long-winded. Just slightly long-winded. Okay, the first video that we're going to talk about is the We Meant to Write Sooner weekly comment response video. And it had a decent number of comments. So, Jen said, I'm afraid I don't comment often, but I watch you at work, and since the Wi-Fi's spotty, I download most of your videos. Please know I am watching faithfully. I'm also watching you faithfully, Jen. If you all do not know Jen, she has 2 channels now. Her first channel is called The Uncreative Crafter, right? Yes, The Uncreative Crafter. She's Storm Coast on Instagram and Ravelry and the places, but podcast is The Uncreative Crafter, and she does a knitting fibery podcast where she does knitting fibery things. She also has just started another channel called One Can, which is focusing on her year of gratitude, trash walks, other things. Trash walks are all we've seen so far, and she's done some fun trash dancing on Instagram, so check her out in those places. And yeah, help support a new channel, because starting a second channel is really overwhelming at first, and it's kind of scary, and I know that was the way it felt for me when I started this channel, and now this channel is doing much better than my other channel, so I don't know. You never know. Just gotta go with the flow, right? Follow that happenstance. Okay, the next comment is from Karen. Well, that was an awesome way to respond to comments. That was fun. I had fun too, Karen. And Crazy Chaos, Crazy H's Chaos is Karen H. And yes, I work a Monday and 40-hour-a-week job that pays all of my special junk, as my husband calls all my crafty stuff. So up at 5 or 6 a.m. is early. When I'm going to bed, she's getting up. And she lives in Florida. So I find that interesting too, to see what time zones people live in. I can tell from the comments. I frequently have found on Instagram lately, I keep thinking, I need to follow more people that live on the West Coast, because everybody on the East Coast goes to bed and I'm still awake and my Instagram feed just dies. Which I don't necessarily post a huge amount, but I like to look at it. And there's just nothing new coming in at night when I'm like exporting videos or something and want to pass a little time. It's like, there's nothing new. So I need to find more West Coast people to follow, I think. And the next comment is from Laurel. It says, great new feature. I about fell off the couch laughing when you said if you're going to be a couch potato, at least be a sweet potato. I was just finishing up an orange ombre, sweet potato orange, summer outfit for my fabric doppelganger couch potato. Which is just super funny. So I hope that Lala likes her new outfit and that she has been kind to you this week and letting you have a spot on the couch too. Next, Julie Martinez said, you read comments! Yes, I read your comment. And I just read it again. Next, Donna said, I love watching your videos. I started watching you last year and have watched you every day since, except the ones I didn't post. I love your Monday Makes the Most and have watched every one. Your new office is the best I have seen. Love the drawers. I am really enjoying the drawers too. They are so functional. I have been really happy with everything about how I've put the office together so far. There's a few little tweaks and things that I want to move around as I finish putting up shelves and stuff. But for what is here, I'm so excited. And the new place to have all my beads and stuff set up has been wonderful. It has been exciting for me. And like, I made these. These are now up in the shop. These are, I'm calling them Progress Pretties, because it's a necklace that has progress keepers hanging on the bottom, but you can also remove these and share them with your project. They come with a set of earrings. Actually, there's a set just like this up in the shop. But that's neither here nor there. Just made me think of why I love my office, because it's made me want to make new and different things. And I also said something that you like Makes Monday. Makes Monday is actually probably my least favorite thing to make, but I know it's the thing that people enjoy. I guess I don't enjoy it quite as much because I feel like a lot of people do it. Because it follows the standard Fiber podcast format, you know. A little bit of something lifey, either at the beginning or end. Though my lifey stuff kind of ends up weaving through, but I don't know. And then, talk about what's on and off your hook, and then what you've acquired that week. I don't really acquire that much stuff usually, so that part doesn't really exist on my channel, which I've always felt was kind of a thing that stood out. Is a lot of the podcasts I watch anymore, well, I don't watch most of the ones that are like this, but it feels like a lot of them are just a parade of things people have acquired. Which I guess if you like things or seeing things, I know lots of people like to live vicariously, but it bothers me to watch podcasts where I see people bringing lots and lots of stuff in and I see them producing nothing with all that stuff. It doesn't feel motivational to me to just see stuff amassed without product created, because then it just stands out to me that, am I doing that? Am I bringing things in and sending nothing back out into the world? And so I just like to find ones that talk more about the things they're actually doing, or even the ideas they're creating with those new things, as opposed to just like, look, I got mail. I got more mail, and I have produced nothing with that mail. That was a really long response that might not have had anything to do with your comment, Donna, but hopefully, hopefully it all made sense. Okay. Linda said, I like the way you answer your comments. It's kind of like shout outs too. It is, Linda, so shout out to you. Linda always leaves good comments. And has anybody else noticed that on Linda's avatar, Marilyn Monroe is holding like a pocketbook and Linda's picture is in it? Yeah. Okay. Pink Pumpkin Crochet, whose name is escaping me right now. Remind me of what your first name is. I don't remember. But anyways, it says, oh, I love this. Great way to reply to comments. I'd like to try this one time. The giant being regular made me laugh a lot more than it should. Me too. Congratulations on getting your first Patreon, people. It has been so exciting. Getting new Patreon people is... I was really, really concerned about launching Patreon. I was worried that people would take it wrong, or, yeah, just that it would be, like, that it's a big ask of people, and, like, do I deserve it, and whatever, and, you know. But it has been really reassuring, and I am posting tonight the first Patreon exclusive pattern, which is called Inspiritment, and that is because Inspiritment embodies what Patreon has been doing for me the last couple of weeks, and I'm not having the greatest last couple of weeks, so it has been really fun and useful for me personally. So I will talk more about that connection on Makes Monday. Jan said I should do comments videos. I'm so far behind with my comments. I'm also trying to catch up on other people's videos. It's been one of those weeks. I think it's a dangerous trap we all set for ourselves, always feeling like we're behind. You're not really behind on, like, watching other people's videos. You don't have to watch them all. If you want to watch them all, they are there, and they are going to be there for you to watch when it is convenient. But I think a lot of people feel like they're constantly behind, like you have to catch up, you have to see it all. It's like the big, like, the FOMO or whatever, the fear of missing out. And you're not. Chances are most of us say the same things over and over. Most of us are working on the same projects over and over. If you miss something, you didn't really miss much. I think we all just need to give everybody in our circles some grace and just be like, it's okay. You can miss some. It's just so long as you know that people are supporting you and you feel like loved by that whole thing. Just, people are out there. They will comment when they comment. They will watch when they watch. You wouldn't want somebody to beat themselves up for not watching or commenting to you. So I don't think the people that watch you feel, you know, they wouldn't want that out of you. So that's kind of how I try to look at it. I also have just accepted that I have a really difficult time answering comments that causes a whole bunch of drama, like, internally for me. So I just don't, for the most part. But I love getting them, which is ridiculous. And I hardly ever leave comments. Unless I'm in, like, the right mood. Sometimes I'm in, like, a super commenty mood, and I will comment on everything I watch in a day. But ordinarily, I don't. Number one, because it makes me stressed out to write the comments. Like, I'm just really worried that people are going to take it the wrong way, and it's the whole thing. But, I also, the way that I watch YouTube, I'm usually doing something, or I'll have it all on a playlist and it's just playing through. So if I wait till the end of the video to comment on completion, well, either I've forgotten what I was going to say about the first thing they talked about, or it's already gone on to the next video, and so I'm just out of luck. So that's how I feel on comments. Heather said, love that you chose this way to answer people's comments. I do too. I think it's nice. It means that I can be rambly without feeling bad about it. And I also feel like it gives me a chance to further explain things that I might try to abbreviate and might come off wrong. Okay, April said, I love the way you're replying to comments, more personal. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for commenting, April. And Alita said, you make me laugh. Hugs, Alita Sneed. Thank you, Alita. And Debbie Y said, I like this idea of replying to the comments in a video. It's a good one. Smiley face. Thanks, Debbie. I think it's turned out to be useful. On to the next video. The next video for the week is the Let Peachlet Pick My Fair Projects crochet doily. And basically everybody says a similar thing. Diane said, love both your doilies, love how you're displaying them too, good luck at the fair. Thank you, I'm hopeful the fair will be fun this year. Undercover Yarn Snob said, nice heart coasters, I love working with thread, but I'm like you, no interest in making doilies. Check out the Bohemian American flag pattern by megmadewithlove.com. I just finished crocheting, but still need to put together. I went and looked at the pattern, and it's pretty, but when I saw it, my first thought is, you know who would love that? My cats. It's like a sampler kind of thread work stuff, and so you're basically making almost like edgings, but you're not putting them on anything. You're just making strips of small thread work, and then they're all attached at the top and they hang down in the American flag. It's really pretty, and if you had the right display place, it would be really neat. But I think anywhere I would find to put it in the world, my cats would just like, it would just be catnip for them. Though my cats don't like catnip, so it would be the equivalent of catnip for cats who don't like catnip. But I'm really interested to see yours when it turns out. Well, I just ran one camera's battery out and had to switch, so if I look different, that's why. Okay, so Laurel was talking about the Kansas State Fair. So it's funny with the blue ribbons, because blue ribbons are great, and I want blue ribbons, and that's lovely, but what I really want is a purple ribbon. Purple ribbons are better than blue ribbons. Purple ribbon would be Grand Champion of Fiber Arts, which would be really fun to get, and I kind of feel like once I would maybe get that, if I ever do, that I would back off and feel less like I needed to enter so much stuff, but until that time, I have this weird thing that makes me want to enter all the things. Now, as far as the Kansas State Fair, this is interesting. Anybody can enter things in the Kansas State Fair. Like, it's not like it has to move from your county fair onward, which I always kind of assumed that it did, because in 4-H, that's the way it works. In open class, that's not. You can enter things. You actually can, you mail them to where the Kansas State Fair is, and there's this whole process or whatever. But I am not confident that any of my stuff would do well at the state level. I have also not been to the Kansas State Fair to see. Perhaps I would feel different if I went, but maybe someday. I think that's like a goal, but I'm not there yet. I feel like my kids need to be older for me to have the time and energy to do the things that I would imagine as like fair worthy. For the state fair, that is. Then Teresa said, love your dollies. And then there's a monkey face. Now, I don't know if she meant to say doilies or if she was referring to Peachlet and her being a dolly. But either way, I like them both. Both the doily and Peachlet I'm pretty big fans of. Linda said pretty doilies. Meeser Girl, whose name I do not know, said, love that heart doily. I looked at Big Cartel as I was going to open an Etsy store. Does Big Cartel take a percentage as well as a monthly fee? As far as I know, no. So there's just a flat fee through Big Cartel, like you pick your plan and that's how many things you can list per month. And then there's a fee through your card processor, but on Etsy you had listing fees and card processing fees and a percentage of your sales and. So I am not completely sure. Like, I think I know everything I'm going to be charged for, but like with Etsy, I found that there were things that, like, I thought I had a handle on what they were going to charge, and then I didn't necessarily. So I will let you know after I've done this for like a whole month, because I haven't done my site for a whole month's billing cycle, and really I'd like to do like 2 or 3, and then I'll let you know what I think about all the different parts of my online shop and how I'm happy or unhappy with them, and then give like a better review. But so far it does not seem like that is the case, like that there's going to be multiple charges for the same thing, which is wonderful. Even if the upfront charge is more, it makes me feel better knowing what that charge is going to be instead of having it be variable. It's like setting a good goal for yourself to begin with, and it also just, there's no mystery in what's going to be taken out of your bank account, basically. Esmeralda said, love the heart doily. Esmeralda posted the other day, too. That was fun. Jan says, I'm not a doily person either, but I do like both your doilies, the heart one especially. I really like it too, and it's also funny because it's kind of done with a granny stitch, and I'm not a huge fan of granny things, but I think I like it because it's like the granny striping, not the granny squaring, which is the thing that I'm not a huge fan of. Just personally, I don't enjoy doing it. Debbie said, great use for the doilies. I have some that I hang over the edge of the shelves in my craft room. So the one that I hung up, the Solar Brilliance, I had like just hanging over the edge of a shelf unit that I used to have in my office before. And I was knocking it over all the time. Like, it just would not stay. So far it has been really nice that since I put these up, they have not moved. And I can open and close the doors, and they do not move. Because I got real sick of picking that doily up off the ground. But it did make me happy to see it up. So now I can see these up. Next video is my Sunday sunrise, week 26. Let's see. April says, I love days where I don't have to leave the house. I do too. Especially when there's a lot of days that I leave the house. For the most part, I don't have to leave the house multiple days a week, but it's July, and this always happens in July because everybody around here, since it's summer for people who are in public school, they try and shove all of life into July, and it's like, seriously, that's a lot of things in a small period of time. So July is never a great month for me because there's just a lot of out and abouting. It just, yeah, and July's just not a great month for me. So I'm just waiting for August, which is sometimes not a great month for me, but we'll see. Then Linda said, I don't leave the house most days, LOL. I get out 2 or 3 times a month. I do go around the house, but I do go outside around the house, but I only go to the grocery store, Doctor's, Michael's, and Joann's. Yeah, I basically go to the same places when I go out and about. And since we live like at minimum half an hour from most stores, like you just going to Walmart or something, we tend to do like big shopping all at once. We try not to go shopping, well, I'd say we try not to go shopping every time, but we seem to be going shopping more frequently lately instead of doing big shoppings. But we try to run more than one errand at once. Like if we're out, we do all the things because we're out. Randy said, those bluebirds are adorable. Heart. Good luck accomplishing your goals this week. I'm in the last 2 weeks of pre-market making panic. Ugh. Oh, yeah. That's... yeah. Right before a show is always really hard because I always find that it's this balancing act of, do I have enough stuff? So, like, you're struggling trying to make everything, but you recognize that you don't want to have too much. Like, that all your work might be worthless. Yours isn't, Randy, I promise. But that's how I always feel. Is I'm always worried if I have too much of the wrong things or not enough of the right, or just time is an issue. And it seems like whenever it comes down to the wire like that, it's just asking for somebody to get sick or something to break in the house or just like life to need to be taken care of. And it's like, no, I scheduled this week for show prep. And life doesn't care what you schedule for. Jan says, I have made a list for tomorrow. I stopped making a list and fell back into my muddled way of getting through the day. I mostly leave the house once a week for food shopping. The list is a good idea, and I need to be better about it. Right now, though, I've honestly, till we're done with the parlor, I've decided I need to just not make a list of things to do every day, because the parlor, that whole life will throw what it throws at you, it seems to just keep bringing things up every day that need to be taken care of, like, immediately, that are not what I had planned to take care of immediately. So right now I'm just trying to get as much done on as many fronts of my life as I can with as much energy as I can manage to muster on a given day. And it's been very up and down day to day, so. And Tammy said, I love to make a daily things to do list, but have never thought to make a craft goals list. I'm going to start ASAP. Which I found the craft goal to be really helpful because I get real spinny sometimes about what to work on. It's kind of, I think, what leads to a lot of people having start-itis, at least for me. I want to start all the things because, I mean, then I at least know what to do. Once you're in the thick of a number of things, where do you go from there and what do you choose? So I actually intentionally go out of my way to make those choices. Which things am I going to focus on? Also, my crafty list focuses on multiple areas of my life, since crafting is my business and my hobby and my passion, and I craft a lot of things like gifts for family and stuff. It ends up being a lot of areas of my life. So I try to put crafty goals that encompass all those areas, and it's a good start to my overall to-do list that, like, at least those areas of my life have been touched on, and then I can fill in the rest of my time with the other things that happen in life. The next video is Makes Monday. So, boop, boop, boop. Let's pull up all the comments. Thank you, YouTube. Okay, Robbie said, hope you're having a wonderful 4th. Love the doily. Thank you. We had a pretty low-key 4th. We don't really do anything, and it was nice. And thankfully, Joann's and Menards were both open because we needed more paint. And then I needed to get a little beading mat thing, and I was able to, and that was exciting. Randy said, yay, the outside with a capital O, my favorite way to say outside. My first pick for a rhyming word would have been catamount or paramount. Bank discount? Nope. Love how your doily turned out. I agree the color palette is very modern. I don't know what about that color palette strikes me as so modern. I think it's that, that like turquoise, like that bright turquoisey blue. I think that's a really modern color. I don't know. But yes, the rhyme. Here's another comment from Karen about the rhyme. Agreed, bank discount is not my first choice of rhyming words that go with tantamount. I think it's neat how you're displaying the doilies you made. Congrats on the opening of your new online shop. Thanks for the share, Kendra. I always enjoy watching your videos on both channels. Well, thank you for watching my videos on both channels. It makes me so happy. So, is that all of them? I felt like there were more oh, there's 3. I was looking at the wrong column. I was looking at the thumbs ups instead of the comments. And thank you all for leaving the thumbs ups. It's nice. It lets me know there are people out there. Because it is hard to tell, especially when you make like longer videos, which I haven't necessarily made a lot of super long things lately. But even like a 10-minute video can require 3 or 4 sittings if you're watching it as part of your life. Like I will get interrupted and just constantly open and close the same video a number of times before I watch the whole thing. So you can have a lot of views, but it doesn't always mean there's a lot of viewers. But those thumbs ups help to know kind of how many viewers there were. And it's nice because I actually see those thumbs up as meaningful, because as opposed to like the hearts on Instagram, they don't feel the same way. I like the thumbs ups because it's like a thumb. Humans have thumbs. It's a connection to real people. I guess humans have hearts too, but they're not anatomical hearts. Humans have anatomical hearts, not the cute little Valentine's-y things. But anyways, that is all of the videos that I posted this week. And you have a cat rubbing her face on your tripod, so I apologize if you wiggled. Manelia just likes to scratch on the tripod. I don't know why. Probably because she's a pretty smart cat. It looks like it would be pretty comfortable if I fit down there too. That was all the comments for this week. If you have any questions or things you'd like me to cover in the future, go ahead and make sure you comment on the videos this week. I will go ahead and start from this video onward for the next batch of comment response. And we meant to write sooner, but we hope you're happy with our responses now. Peachlet and I will see you later. Bye!